Hey, what's good, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you, and welcome to the Love and Soul Podcast Live. I am your host, Kimberly Gunn, and this is an hour of just inspiration, entertainment, and motivating you to inspire your day. I am so excited about today's show. I have with me my lovely co-host, my husband. Some of you guys know him as Pastor. Some of you guys know him as Matt. I'd call him my boo thing. Y'all please show some love and welcome to the show, Mr. Matthew Gunn.
Hey, how you doing, babe?
I'm doing good.
I'm so excited to be here with you tonight.
Yes, I'm excited too. Yeah, ready to get this show started. We have a few people that are coming on, but before we get started this afternoon, we have a couple of events, a couple of things that are coming up that we wanted to let you know about. Before we get started, if you will, go ahead and hit like, comment, and share this broadcast, share this live. We got some great conversation that is coming, and we got some good things in store, right?
Right.
So
awesome.
We are wearing our official The Love Again Soul Experience shirt. And if you see his neck, we have the traditional cut as well as the V cut for the ladies. If y'all like it, please y'all show some love and support. You can go to www.theloveandsoulexperience.com to get your shirt, as well as we have some other designs that are available for you as well. We got a great selection, really excited about that. So please go ahead and support and like. Also hit that cash out if you are enjoying Love and Soul Experience, as well as if you have been following us for a long time. You know that we do various events in the community, so on and so forth. So go ahead, hit that cash out button, $ Kim Gunn. That way we could be able to bring more things and more events your way. Yeah. So we're really excited about that. This coming Thursday, we have the Power of Forgiveness. I have some phenomenal speakers, some phenomenal counselors, therapists that are going to be with us right here this coming Thursday at 6:30. We're talking about the power for forgiveness. Matt, there's so much that's going on in this pandemic. Right. There's so much going on this time. So if you're having a problem, if you're having relationship issues, matter of fact, this is a relationship week. We should have said that first.
We should have just celebrated that.
Yes, this is Healthy Relationships Week. Right. And so we are so excited about that. Today, we're going to be talking about how to keep the spice, how to keep the healthy relationship between your spouse, your partner, right. As well as we're going to be talking about this coming Thursday, how you could keep that, be healthy within yourself, right? Because in order to have healthy relationships, you have to be healthy yourself. You have to be healthy within. And then this coming Friday, I'm so excited. It is ladies' night. Yes, it's the paint night. It's our first paint night. Yeah, we're doing it both virtually as well as in person. Those people who have already prepaid, your shipment should be coming to you. So be on the lookout for that. But that is this coming Friday. Heels and Thrills event. I'm so excited about that. You know, they laughed at my painting last time.
Oh wow.
And so
it was a nice painting though.
I thought it was good.
You did pretty good.
I thought I did pretty good. But they just thought it was so hilarious. But
like you said, they laughing at the Picasso.
They just didn't understand my Picasso. They just didn't understand my work. So I'm so excited about that. So are y'all ready to get started? You ready to get started, man?
Yeah, I'm excited, y'all. Let's tune in and join the conversation.
Yes, yes. So we are, as always, we do our business spotlight. And Matt, I'm gonna give the mic to you. And do you mind introducing our spotlight for today? I know, did I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Ellisha Kamau.
Okay.
And I hope I'm saying the name right.
Okay.
Ellisha Kamau. Did I give me a thumb up if I got it right? Ellisha Kamau. Okay, I got it. Yes. Of Elegant Funk. If you don't mind just reading that first paragraph for me.
Yeah. So Ellisha, she's had the opportunity to be a vendor at our Love and Soul experience.
Yes.
She has some fantastic, some beautiful jewelry.
Yeah.
And so Ellisha Kamau has always had an eccentric eye for style and fashion, which not only sets her apart as an entrepreneur, but also as an emerging style icon. Being married into the African Kahu tribe and learning more about the African culture and jewelry, it was only natural to merge those traditional native styles with the modern day chic. The combination of those two helped give birth to what we know as Elegant Funk LLC.
Yes.
LLC, right?
So at this time, I want you guys to welcome to the Love and Soul podcast, Miss Ellisha Kamau.
Thank you. Hello.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
How you doing? So you look beautiful as
Thank
always.
you.
Yes,
Thank you.
So we're so excited to have you a part of the Love and Soul broadcast. So just tell us a little Elegant Funk. How did it get started?
Elegant Funk came about on a whim. Probably about 10 years ago, I was saying I wanted to start a business, something low startup cost. And I lived in Los Angeles, so my mind was just racing. But I didn't find my niche at that point. So I had the name, I paid for the domain, the website for years until I met my boo. And I went to Kenya the first time, and I'm like, I saw jewelry and I saw the traditions, and I'm like, that's it. That's exactly what I want. It's Elegant Funk. So it was like I had the name first, and then the products came later. So that's how we established Elegant Funk. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so I know in your bio, we talked about you being a part of African tribe.
Yes.
How did you say that name?
Kikuyu.
Say it again.
Kikuyu.
Kikuyu.
Yes.
Did we say it right?
Yes.
Okay. Kikuyu. Okay. Awesome. And what part of Africa is that from?
In East Africa. And my husband is from Nairobi, and his family is from Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And so I know that in our relationship and working with you in the past, a lot of your accessories, a lot of your pieces come from Africa, right?
Yes.
They're African made.
Yes, they're handmade in Africa. So I started off with Nairobi and Kenya, and now I'm expanding to Ghana, and I'm trying to go as far as I can go with finding vendors and getting different handmade products made.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. And so I see you got on a piece, girl.
I do, girl.
Is that a part of your collection?
It is. And so this is actually a necklace. It ties in the back. It's two connectors, and it is a necklace, and I call this my beaded necklace, and I have this in a black and silver and a black and gold. So a lot of my jewelry are made with beads, different kind of beaded structures, and Kikuyu is just one of the tribes in Africa. There's a lot of tribal tribes there, and so what we do is like we have some different pieces, and this is more of like a Maasai tribal piece, and the designs and the colors that's in it is more of a Maasai. And so I try to take on the tribal pieces and make it my own. So with the beaded work, which is a traditional art, taking it and coming up with styles and design to make it for the modern day woman.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah. And so I know that you mentioned, I've seen, being that this is Healthy Relationships Week, I've seen that your husband, he also works and help you along with Elegant Funk and your business as well. Like, what role does he play in helping or supporting your business?
Oh my goodness, he plays an instrumental role in this business. he first helped me establish my vendor relationship. So being in Kenya, I stand out. I'm like 5'8". Everybody's kind of little. I just big hair. I just look like I don't belong, right? And so, and he wanted to make sure that didn't nobody take advantage of me in trying to set up these business
I love
arrangements. So he would be the face that they would meet at first, and he would talk all the business aspects, and then they get me. And then I'm like, okay, I want this, this, and that. But finding my vendors, anytime I do a vendor event, he's setting up, and he's my salesperson. He sells better than I do. I'm like, go ahead, babe. Talk to them. Talk to them. Get them to buy it.
Yes.
That's my dude right there. My dude represents for his queen.
I'm like, go sell this to them. I mean, so he really helps me out a lot. And so now we're in the process of moving forward and trying to grow. So we're just continuing on the path, and that's my right hand man.
I absolutely love it. That is awesome. And so tell me about the name now, Elegant Funk. Yes. I think that is so like unique, that stands out. I mean, just the name itself, I want to buy some pieces. So how did you come up with Elegant Funk?
I was actually at work, and again, this was some years ago, and I'm like, I want to start a business. I want to sell clothes and accessories, and I knew I wanted it to have something elegant in it, and I just couldn't put it together. And I'm like, I needed to be like an oxymoron, something that go but don't go. And so my coworker, we were just talking about some different companies, like Filthy Rags. That's a company. It's like, who will shop there? But it's catchy. And so we were just going through things, and my coworker was like, what about Funk, Elegant Funk? And I'm like, oh, that's it. And I'm like, now 10 years down the road, don't be trying to sue me because you didn't help me out with my name now.
Right.
You were trying to take ownership. Yeah, so it was just a discussion, and I ran with that name and got it legalized, and that's been my baby since.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. So I see that you have like a piece in the back. Did you want to talk a little bit about that piece or some
Sure.
of your pieces?
So some of the pieces that I'm known for is the handmade and hammered brass and aluminum metal. So these are recyclable metals that are turned into jewelry. And so this is a part of my product that people really, really love. These are one of a kind pieces. And so you're not going to find this anywhere, and they last forever. There's nothing you have to do with this besides hang it up and let it glow. And I have a lot of hammered brass pieces as well. And they last forever. Once a customer buys it, I'm like, hey, I know they last forever, but I'm gonna need you to return and get another piece. And get another piece, And so I just have some different beaded pieces that I'm getting ready to put onto our Elegant Funk online in Etsy.
I love that.
And love my favorite colors are black and white. And so I try to bring something in, and all of the pieces are pieces that can be worn. You can spice it up, or you can dress it down. So it's meant to be really elegant funk, right? You're elegant sometimes, and then sometimes you just want to be funky. And so the combination of the two is elegant funk. And what we make is how you present it. So people say, well, I don't have anything to wear with that. You don't need anything to wear with that. You buy the necklace, the earrings first, and then everything else to come together.
Come on here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The accessory, it builds the wardrobe. Yes. It builds the outfit. Yeah. So that's awesome. Did you have a question?
No, I'm just amazed at how you can get some.
I know. Like it is so cool. Motherland. Yeah. It is so neat. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how we can get in contact with you if there's someone who would like to purchase some of your accessories, your products. Let us know about your website.
Okay, so most definitely, I sell on Etsy. I'm an Etsy storefront. My Etsy store is Elegant Funk Online, and so you just go in, find Elegant Funk Online, and you can purchase any of the merchandise that you see tonight. And if there's something you would like custom made, for instance, I have this necklace, and you would like it in red and black or black and green, I can also get custom pieces made as well by pre-order. But and you can also like me on Facebook, Elegant Funk, and on IG, Elegant Funk Online.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it first. Miss Ellisha Kamau from Elegant Funk. All right. Yes. And then her Elegant Funk Online is where you can find her. She is our business spotlight for this week. Did you have anything else that you would like to say or add? Give shout out to hubby.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to my boo, Richard Kamau.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not here. He'd be like, oh my gosh. But and and to my closest friends, they really support me in this transition. My best friend Tiffany Trotter, she's not a business partner, but she really, really helps me out with my insight and thinking through things. And it's just an honor to be here. You were the first people that I started following when I moved to Savannah, Georgia, and trying to seek out vendor events.
Okay.
And I mean, it was awesome. I was like, ooh, they real classy. I got to step it up. I got to make sure I got the right tablecloths and dress. I didn't know if I needed a formal gown or what,
Girl, you already there. All it takes is one of them elegant folk pieces,
Yeah.
girl. And you winning. You winning.
Yes.
So yeah, we also enjoy your support. We also enjoy you supporting us over the years. We enjoy our relationship with you. We absolutely love your family. I know that your
Thank
baby
you.
is now how many months?
17 months.
Oh wow, that is crazy.
Wow.
Time goes by so fast.
Time goes by fast.
Yes, ma'am. So you look beautiful as always. We're glad
Thank you.
that you're doing well in the pandemic. And we thank you again for supporting and being on our platform.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, that was Ellisha Kamau from Elegant Funk Online. We love her. Y'all, please go out and support. Now, we're going to do a Love and Soul throwback before we get started into our next episode, our next segment.
Sit back and relax and get ready. Kimberly Gunn Music presents the Love and Soul Experience.
I think I did, DJ. Let's get it. Hey. Set the world on fire. Set the world on fire.
You're the cigarette, and I'm the smoker. We raise a bed, 'cause you're the joker. True, though. You be the chalk, I can be the blackboard. You can be the talk, and I can be the wall. Even when the sky is falling, even when the sun shines.
The truth is something free and strong and free and free. I'm the end of my life. I'm the end of my life. The best things of my head. The best things of my head. Live my life like this. 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 How about that? Live my
As we walk along the shore,
I never felt like this before. Changing lanes on EMT. Felt nobody was praying for me. Then Jesus turned my life around. And that's why you're not alone. Those friends are gone. Those friends are gone. Have you tried Jesus? Have you tried Jesus? Come on and say you're not alone. You're not alone. Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. Have you tried Jesus? Have you tried Jesus? Oh, come on and clap your hands.
Hey, that was tight. That was tight. All right, so y'all, that was the Love and Soul Flash throwback. Excuse me. If you all are just joining us, this is the Love and Soul podcast. I am Kimberly Gunn, and I'm so glad and honored to have my boo thing. Yes, Matthew Gunn. It's Healthy Relationships Week. All week on this particular platform. you moving yeah. It's Healthy Relationships Week all week on this particular platform. Today we're talking about relationships with our spouse, our partner. On Thursday we also have healthy discussion talking about the power of forgiveness, what forgiveness means, what does it look like, and how it helps you. Forgiveness is not necessarily for the other person, it's really for yourself. And so I'm so excited about that. I have 4 panelists that from all over, from Florida as well as Savannah, that are going to be joining me. And so I'm really excited about that. But tonight is where it's at. Matt, I'm telling you, I have been looking forward to this all weekend long.
Me too.
Yeah. Simply because I think it's going to be a great conversation, but I think also there's so many relationships that are hurting. There's so many relationships that are suffering through the pandemic. People are from various situations, various points of view, you know, and so it's kind of hard. And so it's been it's been 6 months since we've been in this pandemic, right?
About 4 months.
About 4 months. Okay.
months, yeah.
Well, whatever the case may be, it has been an extremely long time. And so we all need that refresher onto how to have a healthy relationship and keep, the spice, and keep be happy as a couple in this pandemic. And so we are so excited, y'all, because we have 2 of Savannah's finest tonight. They we have allowed you all to ask us questions. You all have been inboxing us. We have some great questions that I have shared with them. And so without further ado, our first guest, she is a when you shake it, our first guest for tonight, she is an intimacy strategist. She is I like to call her a romantic concierge. She deals with all things intimacy. She is the owner of Intimate Celebrations right here.
Definitely spice it up.
Yeah, she spice it up. She gets you all the way together. Her name is Stephanie L. Johnson, and we also have the Love Alchemist, and I'm excited to have him a part because I want to know what that alchemist stands for. Yeah, relationship strategist. We have Vaun says. So please, you all, show some love and welcome to the Love and Soul podcast. Vaun as well as Stephanie. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, what's good?
Hey.
What's good?
How y'all doing?
All right.
Hello.
So first up, I want to start off with Vaun because I know that you are the relationship strategist, and you're known from Chicago all the way to Savannah as the Love Alchemist. So am I saying it right? Alchemist?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what does that mean and what you specialize in. What makes you such an expert in this particular area?
Well, first, I want to thank you for having me on your platform. I appreciate sharing this time with you. And just a little bit about me. I met my wife when I was 12 years old at the playground. So it sounds like a nice, typical love story. But we met when I was 12 years old. We began dating in high school, got married immediately after high school. So this year, we celebrate 5 grandchildren, 4 adult children, and 30 years of marriage. So long story short, I used to, I was a leader, a supervisor while I was in the military, and I used to have to always direct some of my young sailors on some of the challenges that they were having in their relationships. And so over time, it just began, it was natural because I was always helping others cultivate their relationship. And so people would observe me at the 10-year mark, the 15, 20-year mark, 25-year mark. And they're like, man, how are you and your wife so close after all these years when so many couples are falling apart? And so as I would begin, sharing some of the information that I had with them about what it took for us to maintain such a close connection, they began encouraging me to talk to more couples. And so that's why I began just kind of sharing more on a broader scale. So that's the long and short of how I got into this, what you might refer to as an expert. And then I heard you ask the question about what love alchemy is, or what the Love Alchemist means. And basically what that means is we all have some inherent characteristics in us. just on the foundational level that explains who we are. And so what I've learned to do is I've studied all different types of personalities and characteristics and traits of different people, and I take the foundational elements of who she is, and I take the foundation of who he is, and I show them how to synergistically relate on a harmonious level by bringing that together, and show them how to relate within the context of what it means to relate to one another. I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense. It really does. And who knew that there was a science to it? Studying, yeah. So that's why you have been called as the relationship strategist. So that's phenomenal, and that's such a beautiful story about you and your wife.
Thank you.
How many years did you say?
This is, well, total time is 32 years, but this year makes 30 years marriage.
Okay, wow. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And so we also have the romance. We have the intimacy strategist online. And we already know about her because we have used her services in the past. And so just basically explain to us, Stephanie, about who you are and intimacy strategist romantic celebrations.
Yes, so intimate celebrations, that's who I am. But romance concierge, basically, I bring the creativity and the time and the resources in lives of busy couples. So that can be anything from date night planning, anniversary, lingerie wear, consultations, and more. I'm your behind the scene Cupid.
Yes, yes. So that's exciting. So guys, if you're online and you're watching, again, this is the Love and Soul podcast. Feel free to comment. Also hit that like button, comment, share on your timeline, and let people know what is going down. We have two experts that are here that are ready to answer some of your questions. And so we know that we had a few questions that people have already inboxed us. So you ready to get started? I think we should go ahead and get started. So what's our first question?
So, bro, Vaun, my question to you, my brother.
Shaking.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
shaking this
yeah.
table. You what it is. But Vaun, my brother, question for you is: how do you define a healthy relationship, brother? How do you define a healthy relationship, and what does that look like?
That's a good question.
Wow, that's a very good question, and there are different elements to that, but I would say first and foremost there has to be a high degree of cooperation in the relationship, and we all have different needs and different ideas about what a healthy relationship is. What's healthy for one couple or what's ideal for one couple might not be ideal for the next couple. And so what I say is that it has to be a degree of harmony in the relationship, and also within that, it's a relationship where you don't have to become someone else in order to make them happy. Like, so if you can be yourself, I mean, in the best and the rawest form, and that person, not your representative, but the person who you really are, can present front and center, and they're okay with that, they're harmonious with that, and you can laugh together in that, that's one of the healthiest examples or expressions of a relationship. Your mic is muted, Kimberly.
I saw that. It's tricky. It's tricky. But Stephanie, did you have anything you want to follow up with that? Like, what is a healthy relationship to you? What does that look
Believe
like?
it or not, like I totally agree with Vaun said completely. Like being your raw self, your authentic self. Because if you're not able to be yourself in the relationship, then there is no relationship. You're pretty much being superficial at that point. And once that superficial comes to a head, then who are you? How can you lay next to that person? How can you really adapt and laugh and cry and show all those different levels of vulnerability if you have been pretending all this time? And I really think that is where the healthiness comes from, being yourself. So I do agree with Vaun.
So let me ask you all this. Like, I have a question to follow up with that. Like, do you agree or disagree that in order to be in a healthy relationship, that you yourself have to be healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that stuff?
Definitely. That being healthy with yourself is going to be your foremost most important thing that you can do. You can't be there for someone else if you're not there for yourself. And in learning yourself, I think that's where a lot of people kind of get really confused when it comes down to relationships, because we have these so many expectations of what we want our partners to look like, but what do we look like? What
Yep.
are our inner demons, or what are the gifts that we have, and we don't show them when we first get into that dating, or that dating stage. We kind of give everybody what they want us to look like, but then when reality really hits, then who are you? So I think I know for a fact you have to start with yourself, and I'm a witness of that. You have to start with yourself first.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that oftentimes we don't discuss what it means to be healthy, to be emotionally healthy, and we don't emphasize how important it is to first love ourselves, and so what I like to refer to loving other people, or even just love as it pertains to relationships, is if you just imagine a cup with a saucer, a teacup or coffee cup sitting on a saucer, and you just imagine what love being the fullness of what's in the cup. And then if you just keep pouring into that cup, it'll begin to flow onto the saucer. And I say we're supposed to love from our overflow. Because if we're trying to love from what's inside the cup, then we're leaving ourselves at a deficit, and even oftentimes leaving ourselves depleted. And that's when it becomes stressful, anxiety seeps in, frustration, stress, resentment, and all those other things. So it's much healthier when you first and foremost start with self, and then you give from what is overflowing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I often hear that the phrase or the term that you complete me, and that in itself is kind of, if you are getting with somebody, if you are incomplete and you're getting with somebody just to complete you, then you're looking for that person to fulfill your needs, your wants, your desires, and to make you happy. And to me, that is a dangerous place to allow somebody to, that expectation to have in a relationship for you to feel complete with the person.
And you for that person to play God.
Yeah.
For you, and he can't be God and daddy and boo all at the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What's our next question? Do we have another
so
question?
the next question was, since we're talking about relationship, we know that we got a lot of people that are tuning in that are still in the dating scene. They scoping stuff out.
Yeah.
They trying to catch a little something. So those that are newly dating, how can they keep a healthy relationship during this quarantine time? How do you keep a healthy relationship?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'll go with that. I'll say right now during this quarantine time, you have to be real. You have to be real. This is not the time to fake and funk about, your boundaries, what you like, what you don't like, because you're in this one environment and this one space. And in order to it's kind of crazy even how you really can, talk about it, but it doesn't make sense to not express yourself. You're only going to hurt yourself at this point when it comes down to limiting your thoughts and your feelings and what you really need during this quarantine. Like, you have to be open about it. You have to be real. Like, if I don't want you in my space right now, I don't want you in my space. If I want to be touched, I want to be touched. This is the time to be real about everything that you want.
Yeah. Well, what about those who are just those 3 to 6 months, they just started the dating phase. They might be long distance, maybe not, and this is real, this is real life. You have a lot of people that meet on these on Facebook, social media platforms, on these single platforms and stuff like that. And so it's real life situation. So what advice do you give for them?
Yeah, I think
go on.
Just, it sounds cliche, right? Because everybody says communication. But if you the one thing you have to have is strong communication if you're in a long distance relationship. If you don't have that, I mean, man, stand by, because the struggles are coming. And it's already stressful as it is, because we can't, so many people find themselves essentially quarantined to their own homes because we can't be around each other as much as we would like to, or as much as we used to be. And so the next best thing to seeing someone is being able to hear them and feel the vibration of their voice. And so it's not just about text messaging or saying, hey, on Facebook. We need to feel those vibrations, man. So
yeah,
I gotta hear your voice.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And I would add that you have to be creative. Like, you have to be creative.
Okay.
Could you imagine what the quarantine would look like for our relationships 5-10 years ago? Like, you have to
Okay.
be like, you have to be creative.
Yes.
So now we have all these different things. You have virtual, you have Zoom, you have text, you have Skype, you have all these different things, you have apps. Use them, like, really
Yeah.
use them, and make it a challenge to use these different things every day, because at some point you are going to get tired of that same mundane,
Oh
talking and
yeah.
everything. I mean, do those questions. I think this is a time to ask those hard questions, though, seriously, because if you go ahead and take care of it now during the pandemic, when the sunshine is there, then you can enjoy it, because you've really got all those different things out the way that should have been discussed in the first place. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
So what do you mean by be creative and those hard okay, yes. Get into it. Get into it.
Okay.
Yes. So what do you mean by creatives?
So when I say being creative, you don't have to be, of course, for the ones who are pandemic, especially long distance. Let's think about the mere fact, like I said, what we're doing now. We're on a virtual way to communicate. So
Mhm.
you can use that when it comes down to different games. You can use that when it comes down to even having an intimate dinner with each other. They have so many different things now where I've seen people actually, you're in one house, we both cook, but we're actually sharing a meal together.
Yeah.
Talk to each
Yeah. I
other
did see
where
that too.
you're interacting and doing real life things.
Yeah.
Whereas, kind of make the camera a part. It's a tool. Make it a
Yeah.
toy.
Like
And
a
when I
thing.
say make it
Yeah.
a toy, y'all know I'm not talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you
But
decide,
but
but
there are things out there for you. But yes, this is, like I say, be creative. Bring in those, toys. Bring in those 21 questions, or even when it comes down to planning certain dates or days. If you set Wednesday aside for whatever you may want it to be, that may be the day that you and Matt may, the theme may be, I don't know, uh, something that involves, I guess, like changing maybe your hair, or him dressing up in some type of costume, like those
come
type of
on.
things where you're
Yeah.
not doing the same thing every day, getting on talking about, well, how my day was, we couldn't go nowhere, like really make it
Right.
those type of
Right.
things. That's what I mean by being creative, changing up the things that you wouldn't normally do if you weren't stuck in the house.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's real
I agree.
good.
I agree completely.
I was getting that with them toys. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay, yes. Oh, and by the way, guys, we're going to be coming right back. I think it's the first Tuesday in September. We'll be talking about how to spice up that relationship, how to keep that relationship spicy, how to keep it hot during the pandemic.
Yes.
We got to give y'all some ideas, some tips. Because I mean, we out here struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, we're stuck, we're quarantined, and so we want to give you some ideas. We want to give you some tips on how to keep it spicy and how to keep that relationship flowing. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of people that are in domestic
Yeah.
situations, domestic abuse. There's a lot of people who are on the brink of divorce because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you made a very interesting point. Because Stephanie, sometimes we don't ask those hard hitting
Yeah.
questions. And sometimes ask that we have to be not only real with ourselves, but we also got to be real with our spouse.
Yeah.
And that is a way to keep like toxicity, or to keep, drama, all of that stuff out of the relationship. It first starts with, like Vaun said, communication, but also transparency, being real with yourself and being real with your spouse. Is there something that you want to add?
No, we had another question that came through.
All right. So what's our next question?
So another question that just came through was, our house is full of kids, and it's hard for my husband and I to have some one-on-one time. Any advice on what we can do at home to create an intimacy or a date night for the married people?
Yeah. So for the married
Set
couples.
boundaries. You have to set those boundaries.
Mm,
I don't believe
I love
in allowing kids to run my house and my relationship. Kids
I
are a
love that.
blessing, but at the same time, you have to put you first and your mate first. That's just it. So with setting those boundaries, find either a special time, special place, a certain location, whatever it may be, find that space that's going to be just for you and your mate. And when you have that, you have to have those open communications with your kids, because your kids are going to start dating at one point. They're going to be in relationships. And if we don't show them what healthy boundaries are when it comes down to relationships, then it's going to overflow into the next generation. So show them, you can show them intimacy in front of them without being, provocative. But at the same time, this is mommy and daddy's time. Or this is, this day is going to be the day that we do game night with the kids. And this is game night with me and my husband, or me and my wife. Like, you have to set, that is very important, because what happens then if you don't, you're going to have an unhealthy relationship, and then it's still going to overflow to the kids. And then what do you have at that point if you're not, able to show, set those boundaries? So it's very important. And I don't think that it has to be a certain age. I mean, I have a 14-year-old, but, I have some customers and, friends, and that, they're like, oh, I have a baby and the baby sleeps in the room. Well, put the baby on the sofa, or put, not in the sofa, but you get put the baby in a space that you can still have your space. Like, you have to set those boundaries, because if everything is family, then what is about? What is this? It's nothing there. So
I like what Nicole said. She said melatonin. Give them melatonin. Put them to sleep. Yeah. Put them behind.
It's natural. It's natural.
Even
natural. Yes, ma'am. I love it.
Even if you have even if you have younger children, small children, you have to be very purposeful, and you can take advantage of nap times. Put them down for an hour, hour and a half, whatever it is in the afternoon. Take advantage of that. Or even there's no shame in putting them to bed early. Maybe normally they go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock, or whatever time might be. Hey man, if we want to get it in a little early, put them to bed at 7:30. Like I said, put a little extra melatonin in their juicy juice, and knock them out.
And have your fun while they sleep. So if that means you, like you said, if you have to get up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you get up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
You gotta make it work.
Do what it do. That's right. Make it do what it do. And I love what you said. You have to set those boundaries. I am very big on setting boundaries. I mean, you have definitely got to set those boundaries, not only with your spouse, with your mate, but also with other people. Nicole said laundry room, 3 minutes, spice it up. All it takes is 3 minutes. 3 minutes, a quickie.
And that's healthy.
Keep it spicy. That's it. And it's healthy. Yes, it is healthy. Yeah, sometimes it to piggyback on what she said, like real talk, sometimes it don't take a whole lot, Sometimes all it takes in order to keep it healthy, that spontaneity, that's doing things that's spontaneous. Woo, that is so sexy, and that it is so healthy for any relationship. Virtually, I know it's kind of hard virtually, but there's some ideas that you can definitely, do, as well as, in person and different things like that. So for those who have families, there is hope. With those who have multiple kids, you got babies, like she said, melatonin, put them to sleep. Get up, do what you got to do.
Your point about being healthy too. I mean, it's so easy because we're, this pandemic situation has a lot of us sedentary. We're sitting around a lot more, and I think it's important that we still try to do a little bit of exercise and just be more mindful of the things that we eat, because all of these things contribute to how healthy we are ultimately. And then
I so agree with that.
It's so easy to eat a lot of the junk foods, the snack foods, and that stuff make you lazy. Make you tired.
It does.
Before you know it, you have energy for each other. So that's important.
Exercising, there's various ways in exercising, but finding something that's fun that you all can do, together. I think it's the most important in keeping that spice and that keeping your relationship healthy. So this person says, okay, so I want to be in a relationship, but I don't know where to start. Any advice?
Vaun.
Well played. Very well played. I think it's everything starts with self. And so you have to first and foremost be clear on what your desired outcomes are. you can't be approaching new relationships. Like I heard a young lady was saying that she wanted a man that made a lot of money. Okay, that's cool if you want a man that makes a lot of money, but now you have to try to discern, well, what is it that would make him want to be in a relationship with you? What do you bring to the table? Because everybody wants somebody to make a lot of money, but why would I want you?
That's
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah, that's
being
true.
purposeful,
That's
being
true.
clear about the objectives and the outcomes, and being clear about what it is that you have to offer. What are your strengths?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real good.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, Vaughn. I think that it's key that you start with yourself. I think that you have to learn, you have to get to a place where you're comfortable and content with being who you are.
Yeah.
You know, the year before me and Kim got in a relationship, I spent the whole year and I would take myself out on dates by
Me
myself. I
too.
go to the movies by
Yeah.
myself and things like that. And so it just making it to where you're comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And once you're comfortable with you and you can handle you, then you can start kind of branching out a little bit and starting from there. But I definitely think that
Yeah,
start
to
with
me, the most sexiest thing about a person is confidence.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have confidence within yourself,
Right.
then insecurity is just it's lame. To sorry to say it like that, but it's just a big turnoff. Being confident, being bold, being not only content, but just knowing who you are. I think that is one of the sexiest things about a man.
There are a
So
lot of
the
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go
the
ahead.
no, I was about to say the question was about how to meet new people, correct? Was that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Where do I start?
start.
Yeah.
Want to be in a relationship, don't know where to start.
How do I meet new people, especially in the quarantine?
Well, I think once again, you have technology. A lot of my clients and customers, they have dated they found their mates online, which I think online dating is probably the new safest way to kind of do it
Yeah.
because you get a chance to kind of swipe and figure it out as you go, with no strings attached because I don't have to meet you. I don't have to go anywhere with you. So we have the opportunity to really get to know each other. Yes, there's a lot of, what they call it catfishing and, weirdos out there, but there has been a lot of successful relationships from the clients that I've had that have did online dating. And with that, like I said, you can do speed dating. They have so many different things. And I'm really thinking of doing one virtually at the Romance Boutique. So if I have any single women or fellas out there, be looking for that. So I think speed dating, different things like that is a great way to kind of meet new people. And it gives you the opportunity to see what you like and what you don't like I said, with no strings attached.
That's true.
So you can really keep it, you have more control of it to me that way, because at least you don't have to meet these people in person or in location. So of course your safety comes first, but enjoy the process. Does not make it work. Have fun when you're meeting these new people. Don't look for certain expectations. Just enjoy the flow of the conversation with people, and you'll be surprised what you really like is something that you may have never thought that you liked. So
Yep.
that's what I
Yep.
suggest.
There's another element too. I talk about love alchemy and what it means to be the love alchemist. And a lot of people dismiss how, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but a lot of people dismiss how important compatibility is and what it means to be equally yoked. And so a large part of what that means is knowing what your astrological alignment is. And so you have, let's just say, zodiac signs, for lack of a better term. So we have these different alignments, and most people don't know that if you're an Aquarius, that the most challenging relationship for you is with a Leo. Or if you're an Aries, the most challenging relationship for you is a Libra. And each one of the 12 has its most challenging relationships, but they also have their most harmonious relationships. And so we need to get in tune with what that means so that we don't spend so much time falling in love with the person that we ultimately end up realizing that we don't like.
Oh wow, Matt, what's your sign?
Capricorn.
You're a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Me
Love
too.
everybody loves Capricorn.
Not everybody.
Vaughn, stop now. Stop.
Hey, I think that worked. I think it worked for the 11. But when it comes to Capricorn,
Yeah.
everybody
Well,
get along with
Aquarius
love,
is our lover, so
So Aquarius and Capricorn. That's Aquarius and Capricorn.
Don't get caught up in that, Kim.
No, look.
Follow that.
No, y'all good. Here's the thing. It's not so much that you have the relationships that can't work. It's that some are just inherently much more challenging than others. And if you don't realize what those challenges are, then you find yourself thinking that they're being a certain way, that they're acting a certain way just because, when in reality they're behaving in congruence with who they're designed to be, who they were born to be. And so when you don't understand that, and then you happen to be in a relationship with someone who's your polarity, then it just becomes much more complicated than it needs to be. And so
who's my harmonious? Who's my harmonious?
So if you're a Capricorn, some of your most harmonious relationships are going to be other earth signs, like the Taurus and the Virgo.
Oh, okay.
But as a Capricorn, your most challenging relationship is going to be with Cancer.
Yes.
Now it doesn't mean. Look, I heard the sigh of relief as I said that. Right? But look, it doesn't mean that you can't have a harmonious relationship with the Cancer. It's just that you have to learn who they are on an inherent level, so that you can get in tune with why they behave the way they do, and vice versa. Why, so that they can understand why you behave the way you do. And then it's not just about loving them the way that you want to love them. It's about loving them according to what they need from you.
Yeah.
And so I give Love Alchemist sessions all the time, and you'd be surprised how many couples feel like I'm introducing them to themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, couples that have been together 10, 15, even 20 years. That I had one couple that they were on the brink of divorce. They had been together for, I think they said 15 or 17 years, and they came to me saying, "Oh man, we pretty much decided that it was over, but you're a last ditch effort," is what they were saying basically. And I was on the phone with them for about 2.5 to 3 hours. And normally I don't go that long, but this was a little bit more personal. And by the time the call was ending, he said, "Man, I don't know what it is that you're doing and what you're saying to us." He said, "But whatever it is, you need to put it in the bottle, because we're sitting here holding hands." And they were talking about divorce when we first got on the phone. So oftentimes it's not that the relationship can't work. We just don't know how to work the relationship.
That's it. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Say that again. Oftentimes,
it's not that the relationship can't work. We just don't know how to work the relationship, because nobody bothered to show us the science of relating. They didn't show us the science of relating, and we didn't know that there was a science of relating. We thought, "Hey girl, what's your sign?" We thought that was just a pickup line.
Right.
But in reality, if we go back to what our ancestors used to do and how they used to relate and communicate, it was a measure of deciding whether or not we were going to move forward with you. So if I'm an Aries and I come up to a Libra woman, I say, "Okay, now she told me she's a Libra. I get to decide if this relationship is going to be worth how much effort I know that I'm going to have to put into it."
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I got a question that I just thought of. You mind not ask that question?
Yeah. Can I say something?
Okay.
So guys, this is the Love and Soul podcast. If you are enjoying the conversation, we got about a few more questions. But if you are enjoying the conversation, I want you to hit like, comment, share. Also, hit that Cash App button, $ Kim Gunn. Let's keep this conversation going. Let's continue to keep events and podcast shows like this to keep you all educated and informed. All right, so I'm done.
So my question is, I'm trying to think that, we don't know the audience. Several different types of people could be tuning in. Yeah. And I just thought about the fact, what about that person or that individual that said, "Okay, I'm tired of the dating thing. I've tried dating and it didn't work for me and I end up hurt. How do I trust again? Yeah. How do I go back again now that I said I ain't dating no more? It's just whatever it is. If he just come out the sky, how do people heal to the place where they can start again?
Yeah, I again. Yeah, I actually have a friend. Even those who are experiencing divorce and stuff like that. That's a really, really good question. I'm gonna let the experts handle that.
Stephanie, you want that? Or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Oh, good, man.
So, an alchemist in that.
Yeah, oftentimes I think people who have the hardest time trusting again, is really an expression of how difficult it is for them to trust themselves. And so there's a lot of healing that has to take place. There's a lot of healing that has it's the same concept as being alone versus being lonely. It's one thing to be alone, it's another thing to be lonely. And oftentimes the people who are lonely, it's because they don't like who they're alone with.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
So when it comes to talking about um, trusting again, it first and foremost it starts with healing from what it is that you just went through. Because if you don't heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who didn't cut you.
Good gracious.
Okay. And
You
so
speak.
first it starts with healing and learning to trust, first and foremost, to trust yourself, and then everything opens up from there. And ultimately, you can't have a healthy relationship if you aren't able to trust. It just doesn't work
Yeah.
that way, because you can't give them the fullness of what it means to be you and express yourself. And if you can't do that, then you're not only robbing them, but you're robbing the relationship.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it goes back to what we said in the beginning. A healthy relationship first start with a healthy person. You
Absolutely.
have to be
Yeah.
healthy. You have to be content with who you are inside. You have to be able to trust yourself. Because oftentimes, let's face it, the reason why we can't trust people is because we can't really trust ourselves. We haven't forgiven ourselves for
Mhm.
allowing ourselves to be so open to be able to allow somebody in our space. And
Mhm.
so we determined that, hey, I this failed one time. I know how this feel. I ain't going back to this again.
Right.
And so I think that is so powerful, Vaun. You have to be able to trust yourself. One, you got to be able to heal.
Mhm.
You know, these people that like these what they call it um where you these habitual daters,
Yeah.
they constantly jumping in and out of relationship, like that's not healthy, because all you're doing is joining yourself to another person, soul ties, basically what it is.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, you cannot be free, and you don't know who you are, because you got so many other stuff and so many other people in your space, in your mind, and your energy.
Yeah.
So that is very, very powerful. Um, I also, to piggyback up on that question, talking about independence. Now, how do you maintain, if you're in a relationship, how do you maintain that independence um, in without like making your relationship toxic? You understand what I'm saying? So for a person, like, I like independence. I have to have my alone time. You know, that is so very important to me. That is how I re-energize. So, how do I maintain that without offending, my spouse, or without offending my kids, or without offending my family? How do I maintain that in this pandemic?
Yeah. Is that for me or you, Stephanie? Which you want it?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, really, it starts with being honest with those people that are around you, those that you love the most, right? And so
Yeah,
when when we when we're honest with them, then we get to express to them the idea that what I feel for myself, my needs, don't you can't you're not allowed to take that personally. There's a
Yeah.
good book called The Four Agreements, and one of the agreements are: be impeccable with your word, always do your best. I always miss the third one, but the last one is take nothing personal.
Yeah.
And this idea of taking nothing personal, it's rooted in the fact that whatever somebody else does, or even what they says, it has nothing to do with you. It's
Yeah.
about them and
It's
what
about
they
them.
need. And so if I need, and then it's also about being respectful of what your partner, what your mate needs. So if my wife has a very high degree of, or high need for a long time, that's not about me. That's about her needs to get her mind together to spend, whatever she's doing, meditating, reading, whatever it is. And so I have to reconcile within myself. And if I'm at peace within myself, then I don't feel so fragile about the fact that she needs some time away from me.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. That's good stuff. So, for those who are just tuning in, this is Health and Relationships Week at the Love and Soul Experience, Love and Soul podcast. I have with me intimacy strategist Stephanie L. Johnson of Romantic Celebrations, right here in Savannah, Georgia, as well as the Love Alchemist himself. Vaun, is your last name actually says?
No, Jackson. But you know, I put, no. I did that because it's kind of like Simon Says, but I just think I'm better.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I like it though. It's deep. It's real deep. And so the last two questions that I have is about tips on keeping a healthy relationships and ways not to destroy your relationships during quarantine. All right. So who would like to start off with like the healthy tips during quarantine?
Eh.
It's quiet, so
What is the healthy way?
I don't mind.
Some healthy.
We've already
Yeah, we
answered
kind of
Matt said
did
we
that one. I can tell you what.
Okay.
What you said the last. What was the last question?
Not to destroy your relationship.
Yeah, that's a different question.
By making us.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Yeah.
It
Stop
is.
making assumptions. I think assuming in these roles right now, I think that we can't do that. That will destroy the relationship because right now everybody's in one space. So what used to be, mom and wife, domesticated rules and expectations, and then now you may have the husband who may be, watching the kids while the wife is work. Like I think right now those assumptions and expectations we have to throw them. We have to throw them out. We have to throw them out because we're all working together as one. And assuming that my time is not important or what I have going on, you may see me on the sofa all day long or whatever it may be. Don't assume that I'm being lazy when I may need time to meditate. That may be the time I need for myself. So I think that assumptions it's what I'm trying to say is don't make assumptions and let's communicate. You definitely have that communication is going to be really key in making the ideal look of what the different roles and how they play with what's going on right now. I don't know if that makes sense because I feel like I wouldn't jumble it all up, but that's pretty much, I think that's going to be key because we really get overwhelmed with what other people expect for our relationships to look like and how our household should be ran, and not really realizing that right now everybody is in chaos and trying to find their space. And in finding your space, it may not look like it looked before the pandemic. So it may look totally different. So just realize and take in that your new space is going to be what's going to avoid that chaos, creating those new spaces.
That was actually the third one that I forgot to mention.
Check it out. Get some of that.
Make no assumptions. Yeah, make no assumptions. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I will add to that. Pick your battles.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight about everything. Some things are just better left unsaid. I remember, we one of the problems that I had, I used to get up every morning before work and I would make myself a smoothie. And one of the problems that I've always had, I would go into the cabinets and I would get the things down that I needed and I would forget to close the cabinets. And that used to drive my wife crazy. She would be like, man, why can't you just close the cabinet? And I was saying, man, I'm trying. I could have sworn I closed the cabinets. No, you didn't close the cabinets. And so time went on. This thing was going on and on and on. And I just wouldn't close the cabinets. I couldn't remember for the life of me, right? And then all of a sudden, there were no more arguments. I was being much more purposeful. I would find myself going out to the car to get ready to leave, and then I would come back in the house and say, man, I think I forgot to close the cabinet. And I would go back in and I would remember to close the cabinets. And so over time, she had nothing else to say about the cabinets. So one time, some time went on, and then she said to me, I said to her one day, I said, man, you used to fuss so much about me forgetting to close these cabinets. I said, but can't a boy get a pat on the back? You ain't got nothing to say now. I mean, I'm pretty good at the cabinet thing. So I can say, add a boy or something. She said, nah, man, you still leave the cabinets open all the time. I'm like, what you talking about? We haven't had an argument about that for months. She said, okay, look, check this out. She said, that's because I just decided to close the cabinets myself.
Wow.
So now here we are. We went from something that was a pet peeve of her. It was a thorn in her side, something that we used to argue about, to all of a sudden there's no argument at all because she decided that it would just be much easier and much less stressful to just close the cabinet than for us to fight about it. So I say pick your back.
I want to add to it too. I think important part is listening, and listening. I'm not just meaning not what you hear them say, but what they're communicating to you in what they're doing in their actions, the way And listening, is different from hearing, because listening is you trying to understand what they're trying to say, and not you trying to perceive what you think or how that mean or make that feel to you. So I think that as we begin to really grow in our listening skills,
Mhm.
it'll help keep the relationship together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen
I
to
agree.
understand. Don't just listen for your turn.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
yeah, that's relationship 101 right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like we're
yeah.
playing double
So
dutch. We can't wait for you to stop speaking so we can get on in that rope. You know?
it is
Yeah.
man. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yes, yes. So guys, this has been phenomenal. This has been great. Thank you all so much again for being a part, for joining us.
Mhm.
Meet us right back here. We'll be here. I think is it the first Tuesday in September?
I think
When we
so.
talk about
I think so.
yeah, I think so. So for those who are tuning in, just stay posted. Continue to like our page. Continue to look for the updates. But we got some good stuff that's coming up that I think you all enjoy. Any final words? Any final thoughts? Oh yeah. But any final thoughts from you, Stephanie or Vaun? How can we follow you? How can we find out more about romantic celebrations, intimate celebrations?
Stephanie, you go first.
Yes, intimate celebrations. So, intimate celebrations, we're doing our grand opening September 26th here in Pooler, Georgia. So, you get a chance to experience the Romance Boutique, where we have all
Yes.
things romance, from lingerie, intimate gifts, private services, specialty services, and more. So, lingerie styling, I mean, you name it. We're really giving you the exclusiveness that you deserve here in the Savannah area. So be on the lookout for that. Follow me on Instagram, Intimate Celebrations SAV, and also Facebook. I am Intimate Celebrations and more. So yes, please follow us, and just remember, I am your romance concierge. So if you need me for any of your date night needs, any of those services that you don't want to do, just give me a call. I'll take care of it for you.
I love it. Yes.
Yes.
And Vaun, what about you?
You can follow me at Vaun Says right here on Facebook. You can go and like my page, The Love Alchemist, just like it looks right here on my backdrop here. I have a weekly show every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time called His and Her Perspective, where I co-host with Coach Michelle Monet. What else? Oh, you can also reach out to me. My website is www.theconditionsoflove.com. Everybody talks about love being unconditional. I say if you want unconditional love, go get a German Shepherd or a Doberman Pinscher. People don't love in relationships unconditionally. So theconditionsoflove.com, and you can email me at info@theconditionsoflove.com.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. So, guys, thank you again for those who have been tuning in. This has been really good, really informative.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I really, really enjoyed it. So,
Too.
we definitely are going to keep this going. So, I'm looking forward to September. I think it's September 2nd. I'm looking
Yes.
forward to that. And then we'll hear more about the grand opening as
Yes.
well as posted about the website too. Or do you have? You said you have a podcast, right, Vaun?
Yeah,
What is that for Sunday?
it's called His and Her Perspective. We do it right here on Facebook Live. We also have a YouTube page, so go and like the YouTube page, and every
Okay.
Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
I love.
Oh, wait a minute. Since I got a podcast.
Yeah.
Y'all know I take care of my ladies and our sexual wealth and health. So we have naughty nights every Thursday night. So follow me on my Intimate Celebrations page, and I will put the post. So every Thursday night is naughty nights, where you come in with your lipstick and lace, and we talk about all things romance and more. Sorry, fellas, y'all not invited to that.
That's messed up.
But yeah, so definitely I wanted to make, I'm glad he said something about that. That's our sacred space to meditate and prepare for the rest of the week. So yeah.
Love it. I love it. Guys, thank you all so much again
Yeah,
for
it's
being
been
a
good.
part
Thank y'all.
of the podcast.
Yes.
We
Thanks
look
for having
forward for great things, and y'all have a great night.
You too. Love
All
y'all.
right, you too. Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys, that was awesome. That was pretty awesome.
Great,
That
great.
was Stephanie. We thank so much Stephanie as well as Vaun for being a part of the Healthy Relationships Week, how to maintain healthy relationships during the pandemic, as well as our business spotlight, Ellisha Kamau of Elegant Funk. Make sure that you all support her as well as follow her on her social media pages. And again, this is the Love and Soul Experience, Love and Soul Podcast. You can follow us at www.theloveandsoulexperience.com, as well as like our Facebook, as well as Facebook. And we're also on Instagram too, right?
Instagram.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram. And so,
The shirt.
as well as don't forget to support, like, support, patronize. What you was gonna say, babe?
Yeah, support our t-shirts. We definitely have been doing this movement for over 7 years now. So
yeah, it's going
we
strong.
got some
It's
great
going
stuff
good.
coming, and also hit the cash out right there. She's giving it to you.
Oh yeah.
If you'd enjoy it this time. So
Yes. So, guys, it's been another great night here at the Love and Soul Experience, Love and Soul Podcast live. And so, you all have a great night.
How are you all tonight?
Great. How are you doing?
Great. And who do I have the pleasure of meeting tonight?
Candace and Jody.
All right, Candace and Jody. What brought you all out to Love and Soul tonight?
Well, we just came for entertainment. We want to hear some nice music, hear a little comedy, and just enjoy the show.
Is this your first Love and Soul event?
This is my fifth, I think.
Awesome. Fifth show tonight. Well, we are glad to have you all back. We know you all will enjoy the rest of the show, and thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
All right.
Sit back and relax and get ready. Kimberly Gunn Music presents the Love and Soul Experience.
I think I did each other. Let's get it. Hey, set the world on